Chair Sutley, I'm very impressed with the credentials that you present on your bio, a master's from Harvard, degree from Cornell, worked in the EPA and other areas of administration. But have you, ma'am, ever owned or run a small business?
No, sir.
Ever made a small business payroll?
No.
You've got some colleagues here today. Have any of them ever owned, managed, or made a small business payroll?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Well, I heard you talk about the impact on business and the economy, and I can tell you that one of the biggest complaints I get from my district, the 4th District of Louisiana, is that all these agencies, environmental committees, what have you, councils, seem not to understand the impact of regulations upon our cost, upon our employees and their lives. And in fact, I'd like to refer back just to lay the foundation of the question I'm going to ask you. Very recently, when asked in committee, the Appropriations Subcommittee, Secretary of Energy Stephen Chu, is the overall goal to get our gasoline price lower? And his reply was no. And he added that the overall goal is to decrease our dependency on oil. And that goes back to a previous statement that he made in which he said somehow we have to figure out how to boost the price of gasoline to the levels in Europe. And we've had other comments. The President himself said under his cap-and-trade plan that electricity prices would necessarily skyrocket. Interior Secretary Salazar made statements to the effect that $10 a gallon gasoline would be acceptable. This is very worrisome for my district, my constituents, when it comes to jobs and the gasoline prices that, as you know, are skyrocketing. What I want to do is take you to the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act, Section 3, Subsection 3. It is hereby declared to be the policy of the United States that the Outer Continental Shelf is a vital national resource reserve held by the federal government for the public, which should be made available for expeditious and orderly development, subject to the environmental safeguards in a manner which is consistent with the maintenance of competition and the other national needs. How can a major new process that we're talking about today, and more specifically coastal and marine spatial planning, be consistent with the expeditious and orderly development directive set up under OCSLA?
Well, thank you, sir. I think we all, and the President is very aware of the impact that rising gas prices have on American families, and I think we are all working very hard on the President's all of the above energy strategy to make sure that we're doing everything we can on behalf of the American people. And a specific question on the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act and Marine Spatial Planning, I'd make a couple of points. One is the latest program from the Department of the Interior is 75% of the recoverable, the known resources are open to export, are open to development. Our view is that we believe that the marine spatial planning will help to expedite consideration of any uses of the ocean.
Well, I don't doubt that you believe that, ma'am, but there's absolutely no evidence to support that. I will remind you that all of these offshore areas were opened after, as President Bush left office because prices were high before. President Obama actually came back and closed most of them down. And then, of course, after the Macondo incident, we had all sorts of problems which led to delays, and we're still trying to recover from that. So from my perspective and from my constituents' perspective, that spatial planning is only adding another layer of bureaucracy to the process, slowing down the production of oil, increasing the prices of gasoline at the pump, and killing Louisiana jobs. And so, as I say, I think from your perspective, coming from the EPA, coming from the administration, where these don't directly impact you, but I would suggest to you that those who own small businesses, those who make payrolls, those who have to fill their cars with gasoline, and their trucks and their business with fuel, that all they're seeing is just a lot of talk coming from Washington, but no action. And again, the strategic oil reserve, tapping that is about the only thing that's been suggested by this administration, when in fact gasoline prices are going up 1 cent per day. I'm sorry, I guess I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman, but that's the way Louisiana feels about this.